movement between levels happens early and quickly. This gets back to the 600 milliseconds by moving things upstream. And for executives, what we're doing, we can move things upstream temporally in time, but we can also move things in orientation, focusing on the vision and the big picture. Again, that's why I like to use frameworks, because it brings people out of the weeds and lets them look at the 30,000 foot view again and orient where they are. Kind of the same with the observe, orient, direct, and act, that framework. Shifts begin before full awareness. And this is, if you are so focused on the conscious side of things, you miss the fact that all of these signals are coming up. Sensory acuity teaches us to look at the facial expressions. But even before the facial expressions, there's the sensation that happens inside. And you'll feel it. And you'll start to spot it. You can see the sensation happen inside before it shows up on the face. The face is a confirmation that there was a shift. But maybe their breathing gets shallow. Maybe their shoulders tense, their necks tense. They rear back. There's something that shifts, and you can feel it in yourself. And the more you start feeling it in yourself early, it's easier to recognize it in other people. So early recognition creates the most leverage, because it's not just detecting it. We're also conditioning in the response to that, which is, you obviously, that person has not formed, I'm talking about the leader to the team member, the person has not formed a narrative yet around this thing. And by asking them the simple question, I just want to do a quick check-in. Let's pause here and see what's coming up for people. That gives people a chance to kind of experience that feeling and then put a label on it. And a lot of times they'll answer themselves, oh yeah, I thought it was this, but it's really not that. But if you let that thing come up and it forms a reaction, and that reaction is accepted by the conscious mind as a locked-in narrative, now it's a lot harder to change. So returning to presence restores access. So we want to get really good at returning to presence, and that's step 2. And we get there by understanding neuroplasticity and how it interacts with, and how it's interdependent with beliefs, priming, mindset, and physiology. They all work together. So how well you are managing your physiology can impact your neuroplasticity, and how well you're managing your beliefs can impact your physiology and your priming, and how well you're doing that can impact your mindset. It's like a web. And that's why I like to talk about you running laps around them, because as you get better at one, you get better at the others. And as you get better at the others, you get better at the one. A repetition makes recovery faster. And so we're getting good at this process to where you don't have downtime. I actually have a visual in my mind where if a person starts meditating, let's say they meditate for 45 minutes a day, in the beginning, that state of calm might last for another 15 or 20 minutes. But after so many weeks and months of meditating, you'll see that calm will last for hours and hours. And I can imagine you get to the point where you meditate and that bliss state or calm or alpha state lasts all the way around to the next time you meditate. That's the visual. You don't have to do it with meditation. That's why the 7-step reset exists. So the earlier you recognize the shift, the easier it is to change direction. Now, this is happening all day, all the time. I talk about it being very fractal. So you change your days, you change your life. You don't stay in one level